Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. I'm Alan and I'm out here in the workshop tonight working on some things I want to talk to you guys about and show you what I'm doing here. Uh, you all know that I'm crazy about 6mm wargaming, and that's my main focus in my personal gaming. So it might be a bit of a surprise to discover that I have discovered 28mm wargaming in the form of bolt action. This is just a box for one of the miniatures, the Sherman. But I bought the game, bought the hardcover rule book. I bought the starter set called Band of Brothers, which includes Americans and Germans and one German vehicle. And I'm working on painting up some of the miniatures right now, and I'm really liking it. Um, I don't think this is going to change anything as far as my passion for 6mm wargaming, because that's just been a part of my life for almost as long as I can remember, and I'm going to continue on with that. But the 28mm figures are large enough that I can actually paint them and make them look pretty cool. I don't have any evidence of that yet because I'm still working on them, but I'm not getting any younger, and my eyes are not getting any younger, and my hands have quite a bit of arthritis and a few other issues. So anytime I'm trying to work on something really teeny, it's just it's just really not all that much fun anymore. Working on stuff that small. I still, like I said, I enjoy gaming in that scale in 6mm, but working on figures is almost out of the question, and the vehicles, it's getting more and more difficult as time goes by. So I wanted to just try something a little different and see what it was like. And like I said, I'm working on the figures. I'm doing the Germans right now. I'll post up some photos so you can see sort of either here or here somewhere what I'm talking about, because you can't really see them. I'm working on the Germans. I gave all the Americans to my friend Chris for him to paint, because I know that I just don't have enough time to do them all myself, and I'm probably going to end up playing against him, so he might as well paint up the figures that I'm going to be trying to kill. And even though I'm playing the Germans, I did, like I said, went ahead and bought a Sherman tank. This one here, you might be able to see it. Oh, it's kind of shadowy, I think. I'll post up some pictures up here. There will be pictures. I'll post up some pictures because I'm really happy with the way this came out. Um, I've worked my entire life as a professional model maker. It's been the only career that I've ever had. I've had a couple of other jobs here and there, but I've been a model maker my whole life. So model making for me is it's kind of the main thing. Gaming comes as part of that. So for me, like I said, the main thing for me is the building of the models, the figures, the terrain, things like that. I actually get as much enjoyment out of that or more than actually playing games. And I get to do it a lot more. I can sit here and take 5 minutes right now and do a little painting. I can't set up a game and get somebody over here and play in 5 minutes, because it's a whole evening, and I don't know anybody around here in the area that plays games, so I don't get to play a lot of games. So where exactly I was going with that, I'm not sure. Oh, that's kind of what I love about the 20mm stuff. For me, this is just like sitting here model making. This is what I'm doing. I'm just building models. And now at some point in the future, I'll be able to get together with Chris or get together at a convention and actually play a game with the models that I've built. And that's kind of cool. So, like I said, I did the Sherman just because I had it and I wanted to do it. I'm working on getting some German vehicles right now. I want to get a Tiger 1 and probably a Panzer 4. This game is very infantry heavy. Um, there there are vehicles available for it, and they're in the rules, but it is basically an infantry game. So if you have one or two tanks, that's pretty much it for the game. It's not like Micro Armor where I can field 50 tanks and the other guy can field 50 tanks. Um, so I don't need to have a lot of vehicles. That's another cool thing about this game, Bolt Action, is I don't need to build a huge army of 20, 30, 40 vehicles. If I did, it would just be kind of silly, actually. So I will, in the end, have 3 or 4 or 5 probably. I don't know, just because I love building them. It'll be fun to work on them, but it'll mainly be infantry figures that I'll be working on, and of course scenery and game boards. I should tell you that this Sherman is the first 28 millimeter plastic vehicle that I built from bolt action, and I'm really happy with the kit. The way it went together, the look and feel of it is great. I haven't done any measurements to check how scale it is, but it looks fine. It looks like it's probably very scale. The one minor issue I have, and it's only because I'm so used to playing with pewter miniatures, you know, solid metal castings, and even a few 15 millimeter miniatures that are solid resin and maybe with some metal parts, is I'm used to having a feel of heaviness to the vehicle. This is really super light. I feel like even if I set it down, you know, it could just fall over. You could knock it over very easily because it's just super light. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to take the turret off, and I went to Walmart today and picked up a container of BBs. I'm just going to pour a crap load of BBs in there, put some glue in there, let that dry. I think it'll give the model just a little more heft. It'll feel a little more substantial. That's just a personal preference thing for me. Like I said, I don't think it's a real big issue, and like I said, you know, knocking it over on the table or whatever, that's probably never going to happen, but it just feels like that's what would happen. It just doesn't feel right being so light. It just feels a little unsubstantial. So speaking of 28 millimeter miniatures and gaming, I have something to show you, a new product line that I've been working on for my company. But before I do that, one little bit of business I want to take care of here. If you're familiar with this here, this is a portable painting station that I manufacture. It's been very popular. I've made a minor design change to this tonight, and I wanted to tell you guys about it just so you would know. If you notice here, there's a cutout, and they're on both sides. These were meant to be handles so that you could pick the thing up and carry it. And you can do it, it works fine. But when you do that, I have noticed that these holes are so far towards the back that it's a little off balance and it wants to tip this way. Even if I just did it right here, you would see that the front does not want to lift up. So what I've done is I just did a small design change. This opening here, I've just moved it only about an inch. I was going to move it a little further, but it really changes the angle of this here, this edge, and I think it really changes the look of the whole thing, and it starts looking a little goofy when this angle is really high. So I moved it an inch, and this angle did change a little bit. So every one of these units that ships after today will have this change in it. I'm going to try that. I have to build one and see how it feels, and if necessary I might move it again a little bit. That's kind of one of the advantages of manufacturing on demand. If I make a change on something, it goes into effect immediately on all future products. So this has been really handy for me. I love this because I can be working on my figures here. I have all the paints I need for these figures, I have the brushes I need, and then when I'm done here in the shop tonight, I can take this into the house, into my office, sit at my desk, and just continue on with what I'm doing, and I don't have to sit out here in the shop and freeze my ass off. However, I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight because it's been really warm today, but sometimes it is, and sometimes you just don't want to be in the shop 20 hours a day, so you want to go in the house. So this little painting station has really helped. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of the way, and I'm going to come back to you and show you a new product line that I've been working on that I think you'll like if you're into 28 millimeter. Okay, so here we are, we're back. I've been working on a series of building kits for 28 millimeter gaming, especially since I got interested in bolt action. I wanted some terrain for the game boards I'm going to build. So what I did is I took some of my 15 millimeter Team Yankee European style buildings and modified the designs quite a bit and scaled them up and changed the material from matte board to MDF and came up with a few of these kits here. This here, I'll post some pictures up so you can see these closer, but this is just like a small country house that's been bombed out and it's all destroyed. So that's one. And then I did some type of buildings you would see downtown in a small town or village or maybe even a city. This is a 3-story building, also been quite destroyed. and it's got the floors in there so you can set your guys on the different floors. Then I went a little crazy and did one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-story building, and same sort of deal. It's all destroyed on the inside. This is just a 2-wall. You could actually do 2 of these sort of this way, and it would be like a whole building. But the bolt action rules talk about, now I'm just getting into the rules myself, so I might even be wrong about this, but I think they talk about infantry being able to move from one floor to another floor on an advance order, or they can even move 2 floors on a run order. So that's why these different floors here will be useful. You get a guy clear up here on the top, and he can have a nice line of sight on just about anybody on the board. Now, I've left out any stairs or anything like that, because in most war games we just assume that there's one way to get to one floor, to the other, whether it's ladders, stairs, ropes, rubble, whatever. There's always some way to get from one floor to the other. The soldiers will figure it out. So to save on complexity and expense, just left out the stairs on these, and also gives you more floor area for your guys to occupy. So we've got those 3. These are the 3 that I have finished and painted and everything. There's 2 others that are on the website that I have assembled, but I have not painted yet. This one here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, or at least a 4-story building. It could have been many more, but it's a 4-story building now that has been destroyed as well, and it has a decent amount of floor space on the 3 upper floors and of course the ground floor. So that's another cool one that's available now. And then I did an experiment with a undamaged building. This is a 3-story undamaged building, and what I did is I left the back removable with floors inside. So the same thing, you can put your guys in there and they can be looking out the front or the side windows, and you can just leave the back wall off completely all the time if you want, or you can pop it back on after your guys are in there if you're into that much realism and you want it to look cool from all angles. So we have 5 buildings that are done and they're on the site and available. There will be a 6th one very soon. I haven't even assembled this one yet, but this one's a monster, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-story undamaged. So it's going to be like this one with the removable back wall. I've got all the floors made. I've got everything's made. I just have to get this thing assembled, get it painted, and get it up on the website. So that's coming soon. This is something you're getting a preview of right now. Nobody's seen that one yet, but that's a really big one there. And depending on how well these do, of course, I will make more and expand the line, more small ones, more big ones, more ruined ones, and we'll see how it goes. But this is just sort of the initial product launch to see how it works out. But they look really cool. They're the right scale. They're 1/56 scale, which is 28 millimeter, and I think they'll do very well with games like Bolt Action and other 28 millimeter war games. So as I get more of my Bolt Action miniatures, the figures and the vehicles painted, I'll show off those and show how I did them and everything. And I'll get some more terrain built, and hopefully I'll get a game going here. Maybe I can get Chris over here to play a game with me, or at the very least I'll set up a camera at the Little Wars convention in Chicago next month. I'm going to be playing. There's two Bolt Action games that I know of, one on Friday night and one on Saturday night. I'm going to try to get into one or both of those games because I haven't even played the game yet. I've read through the book, building miniatures, getting ready, but I haven't even played yet, so I want to sit down at a table and actually do it. And so I may set up a camera and videotape that game so you can see maybe just through an entire turn how a turn works if you're interested. Some of you may already know how to play the game, but maybe some of you have not either. I only just heard about it a couple of months ago myself. I don't even know if it's a new game or how long it's been out, but it's new to me. Sometimes I get here in this shop and I get working on stuff and I just get my head down and I'm just working and working, and it seems like years go by and I don't hear about, you know, what's going on in the real world. And then I discover there's a game out there that looks pretty cool. Again, I don't know if it's new, I don't know if it's been out a while, but it's new to me and I'm checking it out. And so far from what I've seen from reading the book and looking at the miniatures and everything, I'm just loving it so far. So hopefully I'll get to play it and then I'll like it even more, I'm sure. So I guess that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and hit that like button down there and comment, ask questions, whatever you like. You can go to the itgrpodcast.com blog, and there'll be show notes there with some links to some of these products we talked about and the game itself. And if you have any questions or comments or anything, you can post them there, and I will check that often and get back to you guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll know when new videos come along. Thank you very much. Keep on gaming.